Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today's review is going to be all about testing this battery that I have on my bench. It's a 12-volt battery and it's junk. And today I'm just going to make a little bit of an overview of using a multimeter, using voltage. A lot of people make the mistake of using voltage and coming up with a result. I don't care what you're testing when you're using voltage. It's part of a puzzle. So electrical testing involves more than just one part. And the one part that a lot of people depend on, rely on, make assumptions from, or decisions is using voltage. Voltage on its own tells you, well, absolutely nothing. So, you know, you got to use your multimeter in concert with, basic knowledge and understanding of electrical circuits. And in this particular case, the battery. And when using a multimeter for a battery, if you're testing with just voltage, well, you know what? You don't really know anything, but you can make a lot of assumptions. So let's go over to the battery and let's do some testing. Okay, so let's start off this with the date of the battery. I put the date on the battery right here, and a lot of do-it-yourselfers would go to their vehicle and they would take their multimeter on voltage and they'd read 12.7 and say, oh, that's a healthy battery. That is a good battery. And, you know, if the vehicle doesn't start, well, change the starter then, right? Well, big mistake. And as I said, testing with voltage is only one part of the puzzle, and in reality you have to know a little bit more. So if we just go right here, we'll take a look. I hope you can see that on the screen. Battery test and regular flooded battery, and this one here, going to go with cold cranking amps. Enter. Now the cold crank amps on this battery is 525, so we'll just leave it at 500 and enter, and we're testing. And that is a bad battery. Internal resistance 9.62. Look at the voltage, 12.66. Health of the battery, 39%. This only gave you 312 cold cranking amps. So you get in a situation like this, well, so many people replace their starter, and the biggest reason why they replace their starter is they're relying on this. So as you can see there, when you're using your multimeter on voltage and you're testing your battery, and if it reads what you expect to be a normal fully charged battery, well, you can be led astray. And the majority of the time, well, if you're testing the battery, you're testing it for a reason. And if something like, for instance, your vehicle doesn't start and you see system voltage that you think that it's supposed to be, you Google it and you see, oh, how much should a 12-volt battery show? Well, 12.6, you know, is going to be like, well, you know, that's what you could expect to see a fully charged battery. Doesn't start your vehicle? That's got to be the starter, right? No. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to just reading a voltage reading. I've never relied on a voltage reading for anything, whether it's AC or DC, because you never know if it can carry the load. All you're reading is of static voltage of the circuit. You're not reading anything under load. So in my experience, you know, there's so many different types of battery testers out there. I rely on a battery tester. I don't rely on this. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you got something from this, where sometimes when you're taking a voltage reading, it looks logical, everything seems fine, but the circuit's not running. Well, you got to go a little bit deeper, and you don't go deeper with more voltage. So thanks for joining me here today. Come back again. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe and see some interesting things that I do every week, just like this. Cheers.